This woman is not going to jail after stabbing her new boyfriend 100 times.
And I know why. Why, man? Yeah, cause I got high. Because I got high. Because I got high.
I'm JJTP, a lawyer, not your lawyer, still a super lawyer, and let me tell you the story of Bryn Spejcher. Now, this one may have a trigger warning. Right, because there might be some words I can or cannot say on YouTube. All right, so now we have our handy dandy tablet so we get the facts right. This woman here, Bryn Spejcher, I think I'm pronouncing her name correctly, stabbed her new boyfriend, who she had only been seeing for a few weeks, pictured here, Chad O'Melia, after visiting his apartment and smoking some substances. I'm not sure what I can and cannot say. Now here's the kicker. After she stabbed him 108 times, she did not get prison time. The jury took 4 hours and convicted her of involuntary manslaughter. So what was her punishment? Jail? No, not at all. Her punishment was 100 hours of community service and 2 years probation. So basically, she got less than 1 hour probation for every stab. Welcome to California, and welcome to a lack of accountability. And that's what this story is about. And I'm gonna try to do this in one take really fast because I don't want to make this a long video. But this is Miss Spejcher pictured here with her lawyers, right? See how innocent she looks, everything looks good. But this is her, what I assume to be maybe hours after the stabbing, because she also decided to stab herself when the police came because she didn't want to be held accountable. And how do we know this? Well, this seems to be her right here when the jury is read the verdict. So you see her crying because she got probation and 100 hours community service for taking this man's life. How does this happen, you ask? How does such a tragedy of justice happen? Well, first, I want to point out the disparity, right? And I'm going to point out a slight difference between the two, big difference and a small difference. But there's another story that I have here that I'm going to add to this little section here. Now, this story comes out of Alabama, and this guy's name is Justin Fields. And I wish I had more on this story because it would be an interesting comparison of the two, but there doesn't seem to be an update. And this story comes from 2022. So Mr. Fields, who I'll post a picture of here, did almost the same thing. He came home and he stabbed his girlfriend 100 times. Mr. Fields was not charged with involuntary manslaughter. Mr. Fields was charged with murder. And actually rightfully so. So this is the big difference between the two cases, is that in addition to stabbing his girlfriend 100 times, and I'm going to be careful with the landmines of what I can and can't say, he also her head. So yeah, he kind of went a little further than the other lady. I get it. That's true. But there still is this same scenario between the two. And this is what I want to talk about in this video. So in Mr. Fields' case, he claims he was blacked out drunk and went into a different room than this woman, and she wouldn't have sex with him. I guess I could say that part. And so he stabbed her. Then he sobered up and woke up and realized what he had done, and oh my God, it was bad. And then he continued to do terrible things. He was charged with murder, one, and also desecration of the human body, which is also a crime if you did not know. You can't just desecrate a body, even if the person's dead. So there's that. But even in this case, Miss Spejcher, I'm not going to pronounce her name right. I've been trying, it's not going to work. But she claims that she went to this guy's house and she took a bong hit and got high. And then he told her to take another one, and she was so high that she decided to go, well, she didn't decide, she just went crazy. I mean, what was that movie? Reefer Madness?
Marijuana, the burning weed with its roots in hell.
Yes, folks, just like 1936, marijuana, the burning weed with its roots in hell, that we just legalized. So, that's an interesting point as well. This woman claimed, and she got a doctor to sign off and say, that she was so high that she had a psychotic break and didn't know that she was stabbing this gentleman 108 times. And the jury bought it. The prosecutors bought it. Everyone bought it. 4 hours. It says here, it took the jury 4 hours to find her guilty of involuntary manslaughter. So what is involuntary manslaughter? Well, under California law, if a person is not responsible for their actions if they were involuntarily intoxicated. So to be clear, if you took the weed or drugs or alcohol on your own volition and you got high and then you committed a crime, you would be guilty. However, she claimed that this person who's no longer with us and who cannot speak for himself gave her the drugs, and she took a second hit and had to go to the bathroom before having a panic attack and carrying out the unaliving. Is that the word we use now? I mean, listen, I'm going to say it. Okay. So under California law, the argument would be that she was not guilty. So I'm going to put the California law somewhere here so you guys can take a look for yourself. But basically, all of this, she apologized to the father of the victim. And she said, you know what? This is sad, but I shouldn't go to jail. And basically, there's no accountability here. And that's what's really happening. This woman unalived, I guess that's the word we have used, unalived a man. And she did it not just by mistake, like, oops, the gun went off. Oops, I pushed him and he fell down the window. Oops, something. She stabbed him 108 times. And I go into this sometimes and I mention it, but I just have to tell you, based on my training and experience, as I say, stabbing is one of the most personal ways to unalive someone because it takes a lot of work. It's not like a gun, right? Oops, bang, they're gone. No, this takes arm strength. This takes you getting in there personally. This takes you getting your hands literally wet and red with blood. And she wants us to believe that she didn't know what she was doing and that she should not be held accountable for her actions. And the jury in California, blue state, said, no way. This woman should not be responsible for taking that second bong hit because this man gave it to her. And she became involuntarily intoxicated. And therefore, rather than actually going to jail for unaliving someone, she got 100 hours of community service and 2 years probation. I want to let that sink in. Yes. Now, I don't generally bring race into this, but here you have what is literally a case of white woman tears. White woman tears. Imagine this was a black man. I mean, well, no, we're going to go with this. OJ, got it. But a black man. And he went out and he admit and got caught stabbing anyone 108 times and said it was because he got high. You think he'd get 100 hours of probation and 2 years of community, 2 years of probation, 100 hours of community service and 2 years of probation? I don't think so. And it just speaks to the two-tier justice system that we have here in America. And there's nothing we can do about it. That's what the jury said. That's what the prosecutors went for. And you know what? She got high. And because she got high, she got away with unaliving someone. So, personally, I don't know if that's justice, but let me know what you think in the comments. As always, like, follow, and share for more JJTP. JJTP out. Peace.
Like, follow, and share for more JJTP.